Hey, what's going on everyone? Don here, and you're watching VR Gamer Dude, and well, today we're going to be taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the accessories that Prismxr sent me. And you know, again, I can't thank them enough for sending these out. I've actually gotten some really good use out of a couple of these, as you'll see here in a minute. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Carina W1. This is their body-worn battery system that helps to get the weight off of your headset for extra charging. We're going to take a look at the Vega T1, which is a ultra low latency set of wireless earbuds that has a dongle that you plug in that gives you a direct connect. We're going to take a look at the Polaris A1, which is a motion sickness relief band. And that one we're actually going to be joined by my wife, Stacey. You guys haven't seen her in a while because you guys know I don't get motion sickness, but she does. So hopefully this is something that can help her. And then we're going to round it out by taking a look at the Puppis S1, and probably going to spend a little more time on that particular product because it is really solving some huge issues. So, all right, kick back and relax. This might be a little bit of a long one. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by taking a quick look at the Carina W1. So, you know, I gotta say, this is an interesting design. I have not seen a wearable battery pack before. Normally what we see is we see the ones, you know, like you pop onto the back of the headset, or we see the ones that are built into the strap. But this is actually a good design because it's going to take that weight away from your head and distribute it across your body where it's a little more sustainable. So what you've got here is you've got a 10,000 milliamp battery pack. It's actually got some fast charge capability. It'll do 30 watts output, 18, input. It's got a cooling system on the back. But here's the thing. I like this so much, I'm actually going to do a full review on it next week and show you guys how it can actually help you with your Quest 3 battery problems. So not going to talk a lot about this one today. I do like the fact that it comes in two colors, but like I said, we'll get into all of that in the next review next week, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let's go ahead and shift gears and talk about a product that I've been using for the last couple of weeks every day, and that is the Vega T1 earbuds. You know, like I said, I've been using these every day for the last couple of weeks as my daily driver, and you know, I use headphones all day at work, so I got to tell you, it's really important that I have a decent set of headphones, and so far these have held up. For the price, for $69.99, they sound a lot better than that. So they come in a nice little clamshell case here. I do like that design. Now, what I don't like about this case, though, is the fact that there's no real indication as to what's the front. You do have the charging on the back, so after a while, you got to kind of feel for that, and then you know that you can open it, but you can see it's kind of fumbling around. So maybe just a little bit more of a rubberized or a grippy case and give me a clear indication of where the front is for opening it. But other than that, I really like the way that they packed everything in there. So they did give you space for that dongle to carry that in the case as well. Now, this is not a charging component, so that is just a dummy slot where you're going to slot that in. And then, of course, you've got your magnetic slots for the charging of the earbuds themselves. And I will say those are some pretty strong magnets. I mean, I can't shake those things out of position, yet just comes right out if I grab them. So the earbuds, they have 25 milliseconds of latency, so that's really good. I mean, that's super low latency. I don't notice any desync in lips when I'm watching movies and say something like big screen or, virtual desktop, or in gaming. I don't notice that little bit of lag that you normally get. Now, that's when they are paired to the dongle. And like I said, we're going to talk about that. So this, I've seen other headphones that use a similar system, but this is where the magic happens. You can plug that to pretty much anything that has USB-C that can do audio output through the USB-C, and boom, it's going to auto pair to those headphones. You don't have to do any pairing. You just put them on and they are ready to go. It also features a pass-through here, so you can do 27 watts of charging power straight through it. It's a supercharge. It's not going to leave you dry on your battery. Now, the downside is, and then I really wish somebody would come out with one that does this. If you're using wired link on your Quest 3, Quest 2, Quest Pro, it won't pass through. So it'll pass through charging, but it won't pass through data. So kind of defeats the purpose if you're doing anything PC VR. But then again, if you're doing it PC VR and you've got USB-C, just plug it right into your PC. I've got one right on the front, works great. So not really a big problem, but it's there. You know, I definitely wanted to say something about that. You're not going to be able to use Link with the dongle here. Sound quality is great. You know, a little light on the bass in my opinion, but it does have a decent phone app. You can go in, you can tune it, you can equalize everything. So I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the Vega T1s here. And like I said, especially for the price of $69.99, as you guys can see, they're getting great reviews here on their Amazon site. So this is definitely one of the products that I'm reviewing today that I would highly recommend you guys checking out. So let's go ahead and get Stacey in the studio now, and let's get her set up in the Polaris A1 here and see if it helps with her motion sickness.
I have to come to a part where I have to, like, jump. Surprisingly, though, I mean, honestly, I'm not getting triggered right now.
Liz, you know what I've got to say? You're making, like, movements.
Yeah.
I've seen you make.
Yeah, you can, like, being able to run. Well, that's pretty.
Are you outside now?
I'm with the fishes.
Oh, okay.
Can I grab a fish? Nope. I am super surprised that I've been able to get through it this long. Oh my gosh.
Are you flying?
Yeah. Oh.
Now you know what these crazy people to put on the wingsuits feel like?
This might.
This has got to get you? Okay.
Oh gosh. It's definitely triggering, like, my brain, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I want to get dizzy. I don't necessarily feel sick, though. Oh gosh. Oh, shoot! Oh! Oh my god, it's definitely, whoa. It's definitely making my head spin. I'm already feeling clammy. Hold on, no. I'm getting the sensation. Holy cow. Okay, whoa, gosh, okay, nope. I gotta stop. Okay. Well, so much for the roller coaster. That was a bit too much. But the fact that it opened up the opportunity for me to play some other games that I wouldn't normally get to play, I mean, that in itself is pretty cool. No roller coasters. I cannot handle the roller coasters. I don't necessarily feel like I'm gonna barf, but boy, am I dizzy. So, so much for that. So, final thoughts, it actually did do something. I was able to play 2 different styles of games that I normally wouldn't have been able to play. Still can't do roller coasters, but then I really can't do roller coasters in real life anymore either. But overall, I think they did a thing, and I would use these again to be able to play some of the games that I haven't been able to play for. So I'm looking forward to exploring some new stuff. So yes, I would definitely invest in these.
All right, so let's spend a minute talking about the Puppis S1 here. So, as I said in the intro, this is actually solving a real-world problem. How's it doing it? Well, it creates a dedicated connection to my PC for my headsets. And, you know, that's gold when you live in a house like mine with teenage girls who are gaming and watching YouTube, or my wife who's on TikTok, or, you know, I mean, there's constant network congestion, especially during the prime time. We also just stream our TV. We don't do anything traditional. So when I'm trying to game back here in the studio, I was always getting little hiccups in the streaming, or, you know, little lags or fuzz outs, you know, when I'm trying to do AirLink. And ever since I started using the Puppis S1 here, that has definitely solved that issue. I mean, it creates that dedicated connection using the Prism Pulse mode, and you can use it in a couple of different ways. I mean, you can, you know, use it as kind of like a traditional wireless bridge, or you can use their dedicated Prism Pulse mode. I recommend the Prism Pulse mode. That's where you're going to get no congestion whatsoever. And, you know, it's also easy to set up. It's literally plug and play at this point. You set it up by basically plugging in a USB 3.0 and a USB 2.0, and then the USB-C to the device itself. Now, one thing that I found really interesting was that the USB-C here, you can see, has a left and a right, as well as the connection to the back of the Puppis S1. And I guess that's because one side flows power, one side flows data, but normally that's a universal connection. You shouldn't have to worry about which direction you plug it in. In this case, you do. It'll still work, but your headset will keep dropping connection. So definitely want to make sure your left and right are plugged in correctly before you plug it into your PC for the power and the data. So after I got it all hooked up and set up, I definitely put it through its paces for a couple of weeks. And, you know, I gotta say, it definitely, like I said, works for the congestion problems, okay? So if you live in a dorm room, if you live in an apartment where you're sharing Wi-Fi with your neighbors, like one of those free Wi-Fi apartment setups or something like that, you're traveling, you're in a hotel and connected to free hotel Wi-Fi, something like that, it's definitely going to solve all of your problems. I mean, it's going to give you a dedicated connection. It's great. If you're like me and you have like a $500 router and, you know, I mean, I've got Wi-Fi 6E on it and things like that. Well, now that my Quest 3 and, you know, Quest Pro can use the Wi-Fi 6E network, that right now is dedicated to them. So it's not necessarily gonna solve that issue for me. So would I recommend it? Absolutely, if you live in those circumstances, or if you just have a lower end setup and you're getting constant network congestion, then absolutely, this thing is going to give you a dedicated connection. So, like I said, over the 2 weeks I did a little testing. Here are some speed tests that I ran on it. As you can see, you'll see a difference between the Prism Pulse mode and then my traditional Wi-Fi 6 connection, and then my newer Wi-Fi 6E. So let's check those out. So, you know, I gotta say, I was really surprised to see the Wi-Fi 6 as the clear winner here in the speed test. I was really expecting it to be the 6E connected to my Quest 3 there. However, either way you slice it, the Puppis S1 was definitely on the lower end of the speed spectrum, but I don't think speed is what we're really looking for out of this device. It's stability and you know, killing that network congestion, which it does well. So for $79.99, I will still definitely recommend this. As I said before, if you live in a Wi-Fi congested area, if you're living in a shared internet space, it will help you with AirLink and virtual desktop usage. So, all right, I guess that rounds everything out, guys. We've taken a look at all the accessories, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the stuff that Prismxr sent. So, one of the accessories, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be taking a deeper look at next week, and that is the Carina W1 battery pack. I really, really want to test it out with the Quest 3 here extensively, see if it's going to give me a little bit better experience, because we know that headset, unfortunately, as great as it is, has pretty horrible battery life. So look for that next week on the channel. But for me, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this long video. I know it was a little bit longer, but you know, I think it was worth it. So, all right, I'll see you in the next one. This is Don, signing off.